Hello, good evening. I'm Nelson, and I have a challenge that needs urgent advice. I dated a lady for about 12 years, and in September 2017, she unexpectedly broke up with me with the reason that she wanted to marry a man she loved more. I was so hurt and shattered. I tried my best to convince her to change her mind, but she didn't budge. We never spoke again till we bumped into each other at a market in November 2019. We exchanged pleasantries, and she told me she wanted us to get back together. I didn't hesitate, because I still loved her. Can you imagine that after 3 months of getting back together, she said she wasn't interested in the relationship anymore, so we broke up again. Now, she has come back and apologized to me, saying she left the second time because she thought I was not the chosen one. She's pleading that I accept her one more time and eventually settle down with her. What is your advice to me? I still love her, but I don't trust her.
Understandably so. She can't seem to make up her mind. But, Rosina, I'll come to you. What do you think?
There's a song game. First fool, no be fool. Second fool, no be fool.
Okay.
Which one? The
Third fool, nine be the fool. Summary. Okay, so bottom line is that, you see, people know how to throw that love word around, but I don't think people really understand what love is. And so far as they get that feeling, that bubbly feeling, that excitement and things like that, they throw it around. Now, this lady has come to you and told you categorically, you've been dating for so long, so many years, and then she tells you that she's going to marry someone she's more in love with. Now, question. The whole time you were dating her, it came to you as a shock that she had somebody else she was in love with. Straight away, that's a shady person. If the person could have a decent relationship, be more in love with that person, and you thought you were in love with her the whole time, and it came to you as a shock when you were supposed to break up, then it means that you were not even in a relationship to begin with. You were like a side boo, just waiting to see whether something's going to happen or something. Now, she goes into the wilderness. 2 years down the line, you bump into her. She didn't even look for you. You just bumped and said, you cry. This fool is there. You know what I mean? This guy, he still exists. Charlie, let me see. Right now, this guy disappointed me. And, this guy has always loved me, and he's always been there for me. So now she's trying to use her brain to make a decision. Then you also accept, because for 2 years, you haven't gotten her out of your system. And most of the time, this happens because maybe the first one came as a rude shock. And you were probably you didn't come to terms with the breakup. There were so many unanswered questions. There were so many, there was a lot of discussion that had to be had. You needed to understand why she left you, XYZ, XYZ. I think that she gave you the perfect opportunity to have at least just gotten closure. So that your brain can finally take over your heart. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, 3 months later, 3 months, less than probation period. 3 months.
90-day probation now.
Yeah, well, probation is usually like 6 months, no?
Yes.
Usually. So let's say 3 months. And then somebody that she has tested for years, left for 2 years, comes back and says that you are the one that I want. Leaves you after 3 months again, goes away, and then has the nerve to come back and said,
you weren't the chosen one.
She left you the second time because you were not the chosen one. So what makes you the chosen one now? That's the question. And you see, any relationship that causes you to not use your brain is bad for you. I don't know if you understand me. Any relationship that forces you to not use your brain positively is bad for you, that you can't think for yourself. As soon as you see her, it's like kryptonite. I mean, you have to accept her, you have to be with her. And then when she leaves you the third one, what is she going to say? My dear gentleman, you know what? This woman doesn't love you. She has never loved you. As far as she's concerned, you are someone who's probably looking for love, or you are somebody who or she feels like you are lucky to have her. So anytime she presents herself to you, instead of asking the hard questions, instead of, you are just eager to accept her, all because you love her. And my gentleman, that is not love. Love has to be given and has to be reciprocated. Love has to be respected. Love has to be trusted. Now, the fact that you don't trust her, even though you love her so much, the day that the love will leave your eyes now, that will be the day that so many things are going to happen in the relationship. So, my dear, put the love aside. Wean yourself off her. And what are you doing being single all this while waiting for her? It's almost like you're waiting for her to come back into your life. What are you doing being available for her anytime she comes? It's because you yourself, you have decided that that is the only one for you. At all costs, she is the one for you. And she knows it. She has seen it. And she's using that to her advantage. My gentleman, she's not going to marry you. The earlier you get that into your head, the better. Even if she marries you, it's to your own detriment. She's going to marry you to destroy you. That's my take.
All right, Sabi, let me come to you to weigh in on this one. Sounds like bad news to me. I don't know about you.
Yes. No way. You know, one of the things I'm a big that I talk about in my coaching work is mindfulness. How you think, you know, what you feel about yourself, how you see the world determines everything. So the first thing is, I'm sorry, I think the gentleman's name is Nelson.
Right,
Nelson is suffering from low self-esteem.
Period.
Okay? I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with this girl. Nelson has low self-esteem. He found someone who's not in love with him, but was able to stay and manipulate him for the betterment of her own needs until she finds something better. Which is why she leaves, she comes back. She leaves, she comes back. I think she even spelled it out. Just you were reading where she said she thought she'd found the one or something like that.
That he was,
I mean, the nerve.
Yeah.
The nerve. The fact that you don't even have, you're not even afraid to tell someone face to face such a thing. It's because you're not afraid. You know that Nelson has low self-esteem. Nelson sounds like the person, I don't even think, the assumption is he probably doesn't have a lot of dating experience. He might have met this girl at some point in his life and he thought this is the one. Nelson doesn't want to particularly go out there and have to date and meet someone. So the girl is toxic, the girl is manipulative, but the problem here is Nelson has low self-esteem and he doesn't actually think he's deserving of better. So this whole relationship for me is abusive, and the abuse has been normalized. So even though he's writing whatever he's writing, in his mind, he sees this as normal. So bad habits have been created from both parties. Nelson, in his mind, has told himself that this is the love of his life. And because he doesn't love himself, he doesn't think that there's any need to move on. Even if you had to tell Nelson to move on right now, he's not capable of it. He's sitting there waiting for her because he's created this dream in his mind of who this girl is, the babies they're going to have, the family that they're going to have, and he's just waiting because, you know what, maybe she's not ready. But the bottom line for me is there is no healing outside of self. So whatever he needs to do what he needs to do, and he needs to close this chapter, figure himself out, figure out what the triggers are. Why is it that this was good enough for him in the first place? None of this makes sense. I'm sorry. None of this makes sense. This is, I hate saying don't do this or don't do that, but please don't do this. Please don't do this.
Okay. Savvy, yeah, you said it. Don't do this.
Don't do it.
Demi, let's hear you.
Nelson, I think we just have to be straight with you, okay? Just 3 times is not a charm in this particular instance. So she has played with him, toyed with his heart. She clearly knows that he does love her, and that feeling certainly is not reciprocal on her part. So really, and I got stuck on 12 years, dated for 12 years. I'm 12. Like, okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
Who does that? But maybe people do. So it's possible. But then even afterwards, Then she suddenly met somebody she fell in love with. Then she comes back and says, oh, I'm so sorry, let's get back together. Then you're not the chosen one. I mean, it's like really, you know what it reminds me of? You know, when you have a cat that has caught a mouse and is not, hasn't killed the mouse yet and is just, just toying with it. Tap it with your paw this way to the left, a little bit to the right, then vertical, then back down. She is just really, really toying with him. So Nelson, we're just going to have to be straight with you. Run for the hills. And like Rosina said, just really work on yourself to get this lady out of your system completely. However you will do it, get her out of your thoughts, your psyche, everything. Close that chapter, like Sari just said. Put it away for good. Put it in a coffin, throw it over a hill. Shoot it in the back of the head, whatever you have to do, Nelson. I hope what we're saying is getting straight to you, and we're using all kinds of illustrative terms to make sure you get the point. So really, I would say run for the hills. Love is reciprocal. Love is respect, and this is not it in any way, shape, or form. And if you do get into a relationship with this lady after she's demonstrated quite abundantly that she does not love you, because nobody in love with a man would exhibit this behavior. So Nelson, it's goodbye.
Yeah, it should be goodbye. Your last words were, I still love her, but I don't trust her. Yeah, I mean, that's so obvious. You shouldn't be writing to us at all. You should just be, walking away from this woman who's wasted 12 years plus of your life.
She shouldn't even be your friend.
She doesn't deserve your time or your energy or anything like that. Yeah. And she feels like you'll always be there, reason she keeps coming back. If you ask me, not only should you walk away, make sure you block her everywhere.
Everywhere.
So she doesn't try to contact you. If you're living in a rented property and you can afford it, move out so she can't even find you. She's bad news. It's written all over her forehead. You just can't see it. We'll bring in some of your comments about this particular message. David says, my brother, accept her back and then fire him well. Get a new girl, then introduce her to your new girl. It's high time some women stop toying with the feelings of guys that love them. Christiana says, you two, how can you be in a relationship with someone for 12 years? Ading, studying her in Kwa Anna. If it was medicine you were studying in the university, you'd be done by now. I think
for real.
she just doesn't know the end plan you have for her. That's why she's behaving like that. So please make up your mind about her so she will be at ease. Okay. Adam says, two confused birds stay in the same nest. So marry her and you'll have a combined confused life forever. So go ahead, okay? It's the wisest decision you can ever make. There's sarcasm in this one. Robert says, this kind of woman will be packing out and packing in after marriage. She can't be trusted. She thought someone is better off than you or better than you. But whenever she tries, she realizes that you're still better than the person, and that's why she leaves and then comes back. But better still, just be careful. Sefako says, I know your kind of men. You're like Lot's wife, always looking back instead of looking forward and forging ahead. Please take her back as many times as she comes back, and don't you ever settle with another woman and make her suffer, because this Miss Ghana of yours will never cease to go in and out of your life, and your indecisive self will keep accepting her every time she comes back. You two deserve each other. Oh, do your possible best to stick together. Once again, sarcasm. Danny says, hold it, folks. Give them a break. This happens often. Usually, one goes off and gets married, yet keeps seeing the other or the ex secretly. Like the royal couple in the country with which we had the colonial ties. Young man, go for her. If she's sorry, forgive her and take her back. My guess is you were financially handicapped, and that's why you couldn't make the move in 12 whole years. Start with whatever you have and work together to improve your finances, if that's the problem. If you let her go, you'll spend the rest of your life thinking about her, even though you're with someone
I disagree.
else. Yeah, I mean, I disagree.
I completely disagree.
Finally, James... Savvy's shaking her head over there.
Yeah, I completely disagree.
We all disagree on that one.
We all disagree completely. James said, what the two of you need is deliverance, not advice, and probably some small sense. I rebuke any spirit of stupidity in both of you in the name of Jesus. Say amen. All right, we'll move right along. We've got some more messages here. The show is Sister. Our WhatsApp number 054-998-6996. You can prefix it with a country code +233 to catch our attention. Send us that WhatsApp now, or send an email. If you have a peculiar problem you'd like to share, send the email to jessica@citifmonline.com. Right, message here says, "Hi sisters, I need your advice. I've been dating a guy for 3 years now, and he's not ready to show me to any of his family members. What annoys me the most is there is this particular lady who always comes to visit him, and he claims they're just friends. Anytime I mention the lady in our conversation, he gets upset. I tried breaking up with him, but he pleaded that he will change. But the lady still comes around, even to spend the night. I'm really confused. What should I do?"
Hey.
Just people.
Today's show, man.
Let me drink my...
Okay. Savvy, me darling, I'm coming to you. The look on her face. Over to you, Savvy. Talk to me.
It's very simple. You're not important. You're not important. 3 years. I'm sorry. How did it go to 3 years without a single introduction, number one? Number two, I'm telling you now, that lady that sleeps over is known. He does not see you as his lady. When a person, a spouse, whether male or female, is in love with you, they claim you. Girl, he ain't claiming you. He's not going to claim you. You need to give up. And he's doing it in front of your face. I want to say... There needs to be some workshop or something about self-love. You know? Like self-love, loving oneself, no matter what another human being does. Because even the way she writes the letter, this girl knows in her spirit, in her heart, that she's being played. But I bet you anything, she's counting all those years, the 3 years. But wouldn't it be better? The universe is showing you, girl, rather it's 3 years than 5. Rather it's 3 years than 10. Run while you can. It's not a failure to give up and say, you know what, this is not good enough. This is not working for me. Love yourself more than this. You deserve more. This is ridiculous. I mean, how can he not? He hasn't introduced, and then she knows that the girl is sleeping over. So you know all of this. I want to know, why are you still there? And you understand that even if he married you, nothing will change. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I feel the frustration. Demi, let me come to you.
Oh, this girl, sweetheart. Listen, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. But women, you are the prize. You are the prize. You're not the consolation prize. You're not the second, the third. You're number one. And the man for you will recognize that and will chase and will hunt until he gets you, and afterwards treat you like a queen the whole entire time. So if that is not happening and he has the nerve to bring somebody else over to sleep over, that part blew my mind. Why are you accepting this? This is you are the prize. So no, these are my barriers, these are my boundaries. You can't keep moving the goalposts because somebody's in the picture and is not playing by the rules of the game. Right. You know, we're dating each other. We've decided we're exclusive, and it's been 3 years, and maybe perhaps you're dating with an objective to get married and all of that. If any of those things are not happening, but the reverse or the opposite is happening, we're not exclusive, you know, vis-a-vis somebody coming in to spend the night being friends, which, honey, you know, that's not a friend. Friends don't come over and sleep over. Opposite sexes homes and all of that. You know, we're not friends. So let's just recognize that this is not working. You're not going to change your goalposts, which is your boundaries, your standards, the things you're willing to accept as a human being, as a female, as a woman, you know, in your relationships and in your dealings with men. If you're not willing to accept any of those, then move on. So you know, like we said, writing to the show that this is not quite right. But perhaps for some reason you're not confident enough to walk away. Your self-esteem is not high enough for you to recognize in yourself that this is not good for me, for who I am, and I won't accept this, so I should move along. There's something in you that's not making you take that right decision, but your conscience is telling you, that inner voice is telling you that, you know what, this is not right. So I would say people sleeping over, that's a no-no. You've dated for 3 years, hasn't introduced you to any, I dare say she's never seen a family member of his, because if, this is my sister, if they, you know, perchance met somewhere. So maybe you've never even seen any of that. So clearly you might be the side chick, really. So, and if side chick game is not your thing, honey, you have to move on. Move on.
Yep. Rosina.
I don't even think she's even a side chick. She's just something quote unquote that the man is using
to just enjoy himself.
You see, there are side chicks who even know a section of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like the men who are in stable relationships, and when they want to cheat, the thing is that if you want to cheat with a girl 1 month, yeah, it's okay to keep them away. But for 36 months, 3 years, 36 months, let's break it down into days.
No, that's a lot.
That's a long time to keep a woman away from your family. At least there should be one time, oh, this is my sister. Even there are times where family members know that this is not the real one. But at least you'd have met them, and then they'll be lying to you and say, oh, our wife, and you'll be feeling good in your head, even though you're a side chick. But you don't even have the dignity of that. And after 36 months, you have to ask, beg, want to meet his family. My dear, you're not even a side chick. You are not under consideration. You are not even a floor member.
How?
You are not part of the equation.
I felt that in my heart.
You know what I'm trying to say? You are not part. No, sometimes, you see, sometimes this is how lifetime mistakes are made.
Yes.
Because you're going to do that. Then one day you wake up in the morning and then you're pregnant. Or you probably think that getting pregnant for him, it will trap him, will keep him close. And you just keep compounding the problem. And I think that we are here as people who've gone through life, so that we can advise people so that they probably will not will not make some of the mistakes that we've made. So my thing is that, look, my dear, you are not part of the equation. So don't worry yourself. Get out of that relationship. That girl coming in, I don't even know whether she's a main chick or maybe she's a more glorified side chick. I don't know.
Perhaps.
She's probably another thing that the guy is playing with. But long and short, this is somebody who doesn't even respect women to begin with. Get out. Get out. Just get out of that relationship. It's not a relationship. You have to go. And like Sabi said, more and more, not just women, men and women alike, because sometimes men get affected. We need to start loving ourselves. Start identifying your unique positives, what you bring to the table, what that other person should be lucky
to have you. Yeah,
I mean,
you're the prize.
Yeah, you need to put all that into perspective. Sometimes if you can't think about it, take a paper and put it down. My name is Rosina, I'm that. Any man in my life will be lucky to have me because of ABC. You know what? Get out of my life.
Yes.
That's it.
And you're enough.
And you're enough. Exactly. And then when you start doing such things, you realize that that energy attracts another positive energy. This is somebody who values you and wants to be in your life. It doesn't mean that everything will be perfect, but this is somebody that even when things go wrong, they try to make sure that they get to the right place. So, but this one like this, you know, they inside, I bet commotes. Yeah.
So, I mean, she said she's been dating this guy for 3 years now. You want to bet what the guy will say if I asked him how long, he's been dating her?
Oh, he's some chick. I don't know. I'm safe.
Yeah. That's exactly that's his exact response.
Yeah.
He will not even add you to his exes. You're not part. So just know that now, after listening to all of us, you're not even part of the equation. There's nothing to think about. There's no confusion here. It's clear. It's daylight. Yeah. Okay.
Come and borrow my hat. So you
can say it well.
So you can know how to get out.
I feel you. Sister. Citi TV, Citi FM. Quick break. We will be right back. Thank you so much for watching Sister on your favorite Citi TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the Citi Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates. Sister, every Friday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.